This is my first time going live on YouTube, so this may be a fail, but let's try it. All right, so I'm gonna do my everyday natural glam on here with you guys, because it's one of those days where I'm getting ready for no apparent reason. It's quarantine and it's gloomy, so I just wanna feel good. So let's go ahead and jump into some makeup. So I'm gonna be using mostly what I use every single day, so it's nothing like crazy, but I will be leaving everything I use. I believe there's a description bar here, so let's see if that works. If not, I'll tell you guys what I'm using as I go. I'm just fanning myself right now because I just put on my skincare and it's hot, especially with lights and hot in the house too. So let's see. Okay, I think this is enough. All right, so I'm gonna start off with some primer. My favorite primer to use is the All Nighter primer from Urban Decay. It's smoothing, blurring, and hydrating. Absolutely lays perfect underneath makeup. Creates a perfect canvas. Like, amazing. I use like a generous amount because I love like smooth, poreless skin. So I'm using it like this. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place it everywhere. You know, I didn't bring my mirror. Hold that though. Hold that though real quick. Hold that though real quick. Okay, honey? I know I was forgetting something. I'm like, why am I not looking in the mirror while I'm doing this? Alright. I'm just massaging it into my areas that are legit very big pores are on them. My nose area, like my T-zone area, got to go. And this is enough, like literally enough for the whole entire face. So I'm just focusing it first here and then just spreading it around town. All right, let's do it. All right, massage it in. I like to give my skin a minute before putting anything on, especially makeup, because I don't want it to slip and slide. So I'm gonna fan myself a little bit for like a couple seconds. Huh?
Why it looks like that?
Like what?
Well, from here it looks like it's fading.
It's live.
Oh, maybe
on
it's
YouTube.
the light.
It's live on YouTube.
Oh, it looks so different before.
I know, because the lights are so bright.
Not bright. Like,
that
the
it
ring lights over here.
Yeah, and I don't even know if this is like on its highest. Oh no, it's not. Okay, I think this is the highest right now. Okay, so I'm fanning myself to make sure that everything settles in nicely and is dry, because we don't want no slippery, patchy, crumbly foundation. So always give yourself at least a minute or two before putting anything on. That goes with skincare too. Give yourself a minute or two, or as dry as your skin feels, you can go instantly with like makeup, because you don't want no patchiness, none of that crazy stuff. You don't want no mishaps in your foundation, your concealer, because if the foundation goes wrong, honey, everything else is gonna follow after. All right, make sure you get everywhere. All right, you could get one of these on Amazon. They're super cheap, absolutely amazing. All right, that's it. All right, so I cannot speak. So for foundation, well, actually, I'm gonna go in with my concealer first to select cover up before going in with my foundation, and I'm going in with my Huda Beauty. Oh wow, I don't even know the name that I use of it because it's like rubbed off, but I use a Huda concealer, and I just put that in any area where I have like mostly dark marks that I want to select cover up, like especially here, and I just like literally place that there, and I don't blend it in. Hold on. I just literally place it right there like that. Let's see where else. I do like to do it on my sides of my nose because I get some redness there, but I just like to place it and just like pat it in. And then I like to take a little underneath the eyes, just a little bit. So I'll take a little and I just put it right here because we're gonna do the blending later. Let's see, like that. I think that's pretty good because everywhere else I think the foundations will take care of that, but the corners of my mouth, I hate it because it's always dark. So just place it there. All right, so now that I look clown, okay.
Hey, Mom, I'm gonna leave to Kian's now.
All right.
Well, I'm just gonna see him because then he's gonna go play basketball. So I should call that at 5. Okay. I know.
All right. So I take my Morphe and I do take my El Maquillage right now at the moment because one is a little bit warmer and the other one is just a smidget light. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just dot the darker one first. Oh my god, that was a lot. Thank god it didn't get on my shirt. Okay, that was a lot. So we're gonna take this one off. All right, and then now we're gonna go in with the lighter one. So hopefully this is not a mess. Let's see. So I'm just putting it right there. Oh guys, I'm gonna tell you the shade right now. I'm gonna tell you the shade right now. So the El Maquillage one, I'm in the shade 100. 100. And the Morphe foundation, I'm F3.30. So that's that. Let me grab, I'm gonna buff out, well, I'm gonna buff in first. So I'm just gonna, with the brush first. I'm using Morphe brushes. Oh, Morphe brushes. So I'm tapping first because I don't want to mess anything up. And then I go over with a beauty blender to pick up any excess or just to like blend seamlessly so there's no like brush marks. All right, so with the brush I'm not gonna go into my hairline. I'm gonna do that with a beauty blender, and I'm just gonna make sure I put some product on. All right, this, right? So now I'm gonna take my sponge. My sponge. Okay, love you.
Love you, Mom.
All right, so now I'm just taking, I'm not even gonna damp my beauty blender. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend everything, especially in the small areas where my brush can't let me go. So I'm just doing that because it definitely helps with smoothing everything and giving more of a flawlessly blended look. And also it helps with picking up any excess product, so that's also good too. I want to know why it looks so like, hold on, let me see, because I look kind of gray, but it's most likely my lighting, so I'm sorry in advance. So sorry guys, but I definitely promise this is my color. It may not look like it, but these lights are like super freaking bright. So I'm just going in with my beauty blender, nice and dry, not wet, and just going in and blending in everywhere as possible. All right, so I think that's pretty. Oh, what the hell, I'm drooling. I cannot. All right, so I guess this is good. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with concealer, my favorite. I'm pretty sure it's your favorite too. Who likes concealer? Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, I got my Morphe and I'm gonna use my Fenty. I like using two, so let's go with that. So let's go with 290. Hold on, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead with 290 from Fenty, and I'm just literally, I've been liking this style of like the lifting up kind of like concealer instead of dragging it all over. That's like putting too much product. I love, especially for a natural look, you want to less is more type of thing. Just like that. And then I'll take whatever I have left and bring it down. See? All right, so after that's done, I like to go in with just a smidget of the Morphe, and this is the 2.35, which is much more lighter. So let's see, I like to put a little bit like that, just like that. Okay, so once again, for the forehead area, I'm gonna blend with the brush. Like that, and that blend flawlessly. That, and then I'm blending over here, and I'm also gonna blend this too. It kind of gives more of a lift up. And then everywhere else, I'm honestly gonna be just blending out with a beauty sponge. Super cute, nothing too crazy, simple enough that you can do this every single look that you want to do. So I'm starting off from the sides. I'm making sure I press that in and will bounce that in this case, and I'm just making sure it's nice and blended. But as you can see, it just gives like a whole different kind of like structure to the under eye, and it's nice and bright, nothing too crazy. And then I'm just pouncing up here too. See, like you look like you've slept, you look like you've had a lift, non-surgical. Perfect. So now I'm going to do the other side as well, because we cannot be lopsided. Hold on, into powder contour, so I'm skipping that. I am gonna set my face now, so let's get it popping. So I'm taking my Anastasia translucent powder. I dust some in the back. So ooh, my nose is itchy. Who else's nose get itchy when I'm dealing with makeup and powder? All right. Okay, so got a different beauty blender pack. Oh God, sorry guys. It's so annoying. What the hell? Okay, so I'm gonna take a clean beauty blender and I'm gently gonna press some powder. Like this. Like that. Do it like this and I do it like that. Alright, just like that. I'm placing it right, making sure it like blends in a little bit, because we will dust this off and I will go in with a little bit more, but I'll show you where. So we already did that, just so it can set underneath the eyes real nicely. And I'm taking my brush and I'm just doing patting motions and dusting off. Right? Cool trick is that I'm gonna take a little bit more powder, but I'm just gonna place it towards here to give me the winged out shape. And if fallout happens while I'm doing my eyes, so be it. I can dust it away with a translucent. So, and I'm gonna be a little heavy with this one, so and I am gonna take a little down the sides of my nose, like right here, like just like that, and I'm just gonna press it in. Just like that. So I am gonna take some translucent powder here too. And I am gonna take some forehead area. Just like that. And I will take a little, whatever I have left, down the bridge of my nose. Just like that, right? So, fun part, right? I like to go in with face powder around my face, because I don't want to put translucent everywhere, because I don't want it to be thick or I don't want it to look too light. I want to keep the translucent in the center of the face, you know, call it a day or whatever. So I take 2 foundation powders as well because one is a little lighter and one is a little warmer. So using both gives me best of both worlds. Okay. So I'm taking another brush and I'm just dipping in my Morphe foundation powder, and it's called Filter Effect, and I'm using the shade 6, and I'm using my MAC Pro my Studio Fix foundation, powder foundation in NC35. So I take that, and I literally just powder that on. All right, my love, you're scratching me. Hi. All right, and then I dust off the powder a little bit on my chin and right here on the center of my nose, my forehead, and I try not to put too much because I just want to set. I don't want to layer on, especially, you know, for your natural makeup. You don't want to go crazy. All right, so with that being done, I'm also going to go in with some contour powder. So I'm gonna go ahead into my Fenty and we're gonna chisel down this face. I love doing that. It's amazing. So I'm taking Private Islands and Islanding. You can tell that I really love them because they're a hitting pan. So I like to take it around here. Let's see. All right, like this. Just like that. Circular motions. I like to keep it more towards the back so it can give me a nice chiseled look. And then I take it on the sides. I mostly take it right into my temples and just do circular motions. Just to give some shade and definition. And whatever I have left, I'm just taking it around into my hairline, just like that. And then sometimes if I feel like if I put too much bronzer, I just go in with my foundation powder brush and just go right over it to give it more of a like softer, diffused look. So I'm gonna go ham on the cheeks right now because I love a sculpted cheekbone. I'm pretty sure you guys like a sculpted cheekbone too. Oof, I got a little hot, so fanning down the face. All right, I'm still bronzing up, y'all. All right. Let me see. Y'all, I'm watching SpongeBob. So if you hear SpongeBob in the background, don't judge me because I know you'll be watching SpongeBob too. Alright, now I'm gonna snatch this nose because your girl loves a snatched nose. So I'm using a nice little small angled brush. This is the E62 brush from Morphe. Absolutely amazing. And I just go ahead and I start from the center right over here, like the top center, just to make my marks, right? Like a little 11. And then I go ahead and start blending it in circular motions, upward and downward, but mostly downward, like that. Like this. So it gives me more of like a chiseled look, you know. So I do that a couple times, at least like 3 times, right? Just like that. So once I get it to my intensity that I like to just start blending upwards towards my brows. I like to do it towards the front of my brows, just so it looks connected, so it doesn't look like it just stops right here. So with no extra product, I like to go upwards because I have enough. Just like that. Just like that. And I draw in my brows a little, like right over here until over here, so it will blend. Don't worry, I promise. Just like that. And I like to take whatever I have and just be like, do that just a little bit. Okay, hold on, guys. Alright, so just like that, I like to blend. Oh, it's so hot, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm just fanning away, but I just want my makeup to stay nice and dry a little. All right, done with the drying. So like I was saying, just brush up, whatever, just so it can look as natural as possible. And then I like to take a little bit of like the beauty blender that I use with the translucent powder, of course, tap off the excess, and I just like to push in just so it's nice and softened, right? Just like that. Okay, so now that we're done with our nose snatching, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush because I've been liking blush for the past couple of months now. So I like to take my Nova blush from Kat Von D. It's like the perfect shade. It's not too pink and it's not too orange. It's like just right. And I like to keep that towards the back of my cheeks. I don't bring it forward because I don't want my face to look more round than what it is. So if you have more of like a narrow face or more of like a slim face, if you want to put it on your cheeks, you definitely can because it gives you more of a fuller look. But this works for me. But whatever works for you guys, whatever works for you, honey. So just like this, I like to keep it just like that. So I focus it right towards the back, and then I just blend forward with whatever I have left while tapping off the brush. Just like that. And it just gives it more of like a softer, more softer look. So after this, I love to go in to the brows. So I like to start off with clear brow gel. I love using the Morphe clear brow gel. Is absolutely amazing. Like, it's just as good as the Anastasia one. Like, trust and believe when I tell you, super good. So I like to go ahead and just coat my eyebrows with this brow gel, and then I just fan it, and then I go in with a pencil. But I'm not gonna go in with a pencil today because my pencil is gonna finish. So I'm gonna wear pomade, and it's from Morphe as well. This right over here. This is how it looks. So I'm gonna put on some lip balm. I'm using the Jouer because my lips are feeling hella dry right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry these. So I'm just taking dry, and a dry. So will I dry these for a little bit? I think like 2 little sesh ins. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my beauty marks because yo girl, my beauty marks always get covered up when I put makeup on because I'm a full coverage girl. So you know how that goes. Where are you? Hold on. I'm sorry. Alright, right here. So I like to take the Anastasia Dipbrow gel in ebony, and I love using it for the simple fact that it is waterproof. So when I place my beauty marks, they do not budge throughout the whole day. As well as you can definitely just use this for your eyebrows because that's what it's meant for, but I love multi-purposing products. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys where my beauty marks are. Right over here. Hold on, let me actually dust off the under eyes. So at least this one right over here. But you see how it gives brightness and like structure to the eye. Like, yes honey, thank you. Just like that. Just like that. I'm keeping these over here just so when we put the eyeshadow and stuff. But I have a beauty mark right under here. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it. See? Just like that. And I go in this one. Just like that. And then I have one right up here by my eyebrow, my temple. Just like that. Ta-da! I do use this for my eyebrows as well as a finisher to darken up the eyebrows after everything is said and done. So now I'm gonna dry my brows again and dry a little bit of my beauty marks. Okay, artichoke. Alright, so now I like to go in with my brows. Okay, so I'm taking my pomade in Java Brow Cream from Morphe. Love this stuff. And I'm taking my Morphe ankle brush, well, eyebrow brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and whack her on. Sorry if I get quiet while doing my brows. I feel like I can't breathe if I'm doing my brows. Like I can't multitask while doing my brows. Isn't that crazy? Let me do the other side.
Thank you for your cooperation. What? Excuse me, sir, but you forgot to level the place? Yeah. Demolition is outside of my purview. I simply ensure that restaurants comply with the 100-foot ordinance. That's one more foot. Perfect. But that's not fair!
Okay, SpongeBob. Guys, this is my first live on YouTube, so I'm sorry if it's like a little, you know, like bland right now, but I promise as time goes by, I'm definitely gonna be a little bit more, you know, spunks, because this is my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never been online on YouTube, so it's new for me, so don't judge me. Give me some suggestions and ideas or whatever you guys want to see me do on live. Like, let me know, because I am totally all for it and open to anything you guys want me to do. So don't be afraid, ask your girl. So let me finish this brow real quick. Let me finish this brow. Let me finish this brow. Nickelodeon. Yo, I cannot be the only one that watches like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, like oldie cartoons, because they the bomb. Can't front. Splash out loud. Right, it's Saturday, y'all. It's freaking Saturday. I mean, it doesn't really matter though, because it's quarantine, so we ain't finna go anywhere.
Switch to progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the
All right. So it's getting there, it's getting there. Alright. So I think my brows are pretty good. I don't want them to be perfect. And they shouldn't be perfect. They're not twins. They are sisters. Sometimes cousins. So don't get alarmed if they're not looking like pretty even. Listen, sometimes that's just a look, you know. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna go in with my colored brow gel and just pack that on, because I want my brow hairs to be defined just a bit. So towards the front, I'm using such a light hand, like I'm barely touching my brows. Because if you make such a wrong move with this product in your hand, especially put too much pressure, your brow will be botched. All right. Okay, I'm feeling a little better now that my eyebrows are on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna carve out these brows, honey. A little bit of concealer or foundation, whatever tickles your fancy. So I'm gonna take my concealer real quickly and just carve out, just to make sure that they give off like a nice neat vibe instead of like looking crazy. All right. Girl, this thing just loves spitting out. It's so nasty. Oh wow, it spit all on the brush. All right, it was meant for the brush. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just use whatever I freaking have here. So let's go ahead and do this. Let me clean off my fingers. You don't want that. You don't want no dirtiness. All right, so I'm gonna clean off mostly from I'm gonna start off towards the ends. Just like that. And whatever I have left, I go towards the front. And I bring it down just like that, just to give it a little neat look or whatever. See, just like that. See, just like that, right? Then now the cool part is I'm gonna take a little bit of my eyeshadow primer from Anastasia. Where's she at? Where you at? Where you at? Hello. All right, I found it. All right, so this is it, the Anastasia eyeshadow primer. And I take very, very little of it, enough for both eyes. This will be enough for both eyes, so I'm gonna pat that in with a nice little, well, the same brush that I used, just like that, because you want your eye to be primed before you put any shadow on, whether that's color, whether it's neutrals, whether it's, you know, liners. You want to make sure you have the perfect base, because you want your eyeshadows to be as pigmented as possible, as well as no creasing. because listen, honey. We ain't want no oily lids as well, no creasing lids. We want to make sure our eyeshadow is as perfect as can be. All right, just like that. So now I'm gonna set them in place. I'm gonna go ahead and take translucent powder. I love to take translucent powder, so I take it on the sponge, that, and pack that on. Just like that. So now we're gonna go in with our eyeshadows, which is the fun part. All right, so I'm taking these right over here. Wow, Merry Christmas. So I'm taking my Artist Couture palette, their Midnight Maven palette, and I'm taking these right over here. These are the ones that I'll be using throughout this video. So I'm taking out Quickie, which is this light beige base color, and I'm just taking that right in the crease, and I'm just making sure I pack that on because that's gonna be our transition color. I love a nice blown out kind of like neutral look. Alright. Let's mute this because SpongeBob is doing the most right now. Alright. And my hear buses are like cars honking and stuff, but that's the beauty of living in New York. Alright, so perfect. Just like that. And now I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna go in with Frisky first and then Rubble. So Frisky and then Rubble right after, okay? So let's take Frisky. And I like to pack that on the outer corner first. Just like that. I love it to be nice and blown out and like nice and shaped. So you want to make sure that you're blending in and blending out at an angle as well, so it doesn't like mess up the form. I'm packing on some color still, you know. Alright, so I pack on with a nice little brush. And then I take the fluffy brush again and I'm just gonna blend out any harsh lines. Just like that, right? So I'm gonna take Frisky and I'm gonna take Rebel together. Just like this. Just like this. I'm trying to like blow it out a little bit more, but I'm just placing first because I'm trying to bring it in. Right. Let's go ahead and do it. I dropped my little egg. Now like kind of dust off or carve off, you can say. I hope my cat doesn't like play with my sponge. I'm gonna be so heartbroken. All right. So I'm just doing a little blender-rooney or whatever. I'm just gonna bring like that. I'm just making sure I just bring it around too, because I don't want it to look crazy. All right. So now that it should look something like this, I'm just gonna go with the first brush that I used earlier. Make sure everything is nice and blended. Just right there, like that. All right. Just like that, right? So now what I'm gonna do is grab a little glitter glue from Too Faced, and I'm just gonna pack that right in the beginning of my eye. Just like that. Just want to take very, very little because I want to place pigment in the first half of my eye, on the first half of my eye. So just like that, and I'm gonna clean off my finger first, and I'm gonna take my Artist Couture Golden Hour and I know I took out both. Okay, Golden Hour and Diamond Bronze Spotlight Glitz. They're literally so beautiful. So let me stop yapping and like put them on before this glitter glue dries. I literally take the bronze and I take Golden Hour and I literally mix them up on my finger, right? And I go like this. And I'm like barely touching my eye, like period. So I like literally do that. And then of course I go in with a brush to make sure that it's nice and blended. But if you got a steady finger, honey, you don't need nothing else. Just like that. Just on there. Alright, so after I do that, I like to make sure it's nice and evenly coated. Right, just like that. And I like to go in with the shades again on the outer corners, just to make sure that there's no pigment lost. So I like to go like this first with a big brush around to make sure that everything is fine, no harsh edges, everything is blended. Then I like to go in with my two bad boys, Frisky and Rebel. And I like to just like that. Just like that, just like that. And I just like whatever I have and bring it around town. Bring it around town. Alright. And I got this clean brush here. I'm gonna go ahead and blend around here. Right there. No one can tell you anything with your bronze self. No one can tell you anything, honey. So I'm gonna put a little bit of mascara on my lashes. I'm using Fenty, of course. Hello. So I did that. I'm gonna put a little bit of highlight on my brow bone. Put some Fenty on. I'm using Mean Money and Hustler Baby. And I'm just taking my pointed blending brush M501 and I'm taking that right there. Literally barely touching my and I just go in just like that, just like that, just like that. Right. So now I'm gonna go back in with this just to make sure that it's still nice and saturated, nothing that's getting lost in this house, you know. All right, so now the fun part begins. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my lash. I don't know if I really want bottom eyeshadow. I may not. Let's see how I feel. So I'm gonna go ahead and up my duo lash glue. Always comes in clutch. There's no better lash glue. Change my mind in the comments. Let me know what lash glue I should try out, because this is the only one I recommend and I love, which is the duo the duo brush on only. So a little tip that I like to do, well, the trick I like to do is put it on my lash line, like if I'm putting on liner, for the simple fact that your girl right here, her eyes tend to water, so it always gives me a difficult time to put on my lashes. So I picked up this trick somewhere on YouTube, I think it was, or was it TikTok? I don't know. It was one of the two. But that came in clutch because I was just like, thank gosh. So I do put lash glue on my lash line, and I do put it on my lashes as well. So an extra hold. So I am using the lashes So Extra Miami from Lily Lashes. So yes, I love these. You can definitely wear whatever lashes you want. These happen to be mine. I'm extra. Well, I can be extra. Alright. Oh my god. What is that? I love me some Cardi. I'm so hungry, y'all. Like, I had cereal earlier, but I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped. Alright, so we're gonna let that dry a little bit. So, bring out my handy dandy fan. And then fan these a little. I'm gonna lose my lashes. Alright. So now that we got the hit going on, handy dandy lash tweezers. So I'm gonna go ahead and start plopping these bad boys on. So I'm starting off with my left side. So I literally start from the center and I start pushing. I start pushing up like that. Like this. And then after I place them, I push them in with my finger because I get a little bit more control, and pinch my real lash with the fake lash, so it gives it more of a like natural look. Look how much lashes change a look, guys. Like, look how beautiful that is. And voila, there you got a lash. Look, without and with. Without and with. Alright, let me stop being silly. Silly Billy. Alright. Alright, just like that. See, I love Lily Lashes because they already like mold to your eye after you have a few tries with them. Wow, it was only $4.38, guys. Right. I'm really digging these. Like, these look super cute. All right, so to finish off like the look on the top of my eye, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of glitter. I'm using Gold Lust. Is from Ral Devo. It's a brand on Instagram, and they really have nice glitters, and I'm just literally placing that right towards the what do you call it, the front of my eye, the inner corners, and I'm just like lightly touching because I want it to be like more, see how the kind of look that it gives, because this gives off like a nice diamond lusty, but this gives off like an extra wet look. So I like to take it all through there and just take it like that. This very bronzy gold goddess look. Just like that. It gives like a nice little wet look. A little adding the glitz like that. See, and it gives me a completely different vibe. Like, it's still natural, but not your average natural. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit before I like start going in. All right, so now that I have that, I think I'm not gonna do anything on the lower lash. I'm just honestly gonna put some mascara and call it a day. Call it a day. Why my dogs so loud? I'm nervous. My dogs have no home training. Obviously, no home training. No home training. Sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry. Alright, so I'm just putting some mascara on my lower lash line. Like that. And being as gentle as possible because, listen. I think it's to my liking. I love to put loads of mascara on my lower lash line, especially if I don't have any eyeshadow on the bottom. Thought my cat was like chewing on something. I'm like, boy, you better not. I promise I am almost done. See, like if you don't put eyeshadow like on the bottom of your eyelash, it's totally okay. Just put some mascara on. Like it looks absolutely stunning even though you don't have any eyeshadow. All right, I think I'm done with the lash is on the bottom at least. Perfect. Don't even have to go in anything crazy. So I love it. Not bad so far. So good. All right, so now let's go with lips. I think lips and highlight, and then we're done. So what I'm gonna do is I love going in. Don't do something. Something like a nudie pink. Like a nudie pink. So I like to take 2 lip liners and a lipstick with some gloves. And some gloves. Alright, so before that though, we're gonna go highlight. I'm gonna highlight with some Fenty. With some Mean Money and Hustler, baby. Love. Just like that. Literally just take a little. And I just love to focus it majority towards here. And whatever I have left, I bring it towards the front. And I go in with 2 different types of highlights. Just like that. Just like that. Take some right on my chin. I keep the forehead area super clear because I'm an oily girl and I do not want any oils trying to look like any of my highlights to look like I'm sweating. So I just keep it on the high points of my face, wherever the sun naturally hits. Like that. All right, so that's Gucci or whatever. So I don't go too crazy with the highlight. Let's go ahead and make sure everything is blended. Just like that. So now we're gonna go in with lips. I'm excited because I love lips. So I'm taking my Makeup Forever, I think it's called dimensional dark brown. So it's literally the darkest shade of brown, like a cool tone brown. And I like to shape my lips first. Like this. Don't be startled. And I like to do it like this. Like this. It looks crazy, I know, but I take my chocolatey brown lip liner and I go right over them because it adds a little bit more definition and a little bit more warmth, and it's a little lighter, so like it softens it like enough, because you want to go with your deepest, darkest liners first and then gradually go into your lights. I like to do that, right? Okay, before I put on that lipstick, I like to go in with liquid lipstick from Dior or any liquid lipstick that you have. That definitely tones it down. I go all over with it. And you see it still adds that definition without being too crazy. Just like that. And it blends and it softens the lips so much. Right, so I like to add a lighter lipstick, a little bit more pinkier to it, and then you're gonna see. First, I'm gonna clean it up just like that. Love a nice little clean lip. All right. Okay. It looks super dark on camera, but it's definitely not, I promise you. So I'm gonna all right, so now I like to take my pink little lipstick. I like to use Charlotte Tilbury. Just like that.